Hello, this is Wickes Jr. reviewing two games of Lost Cities that I played, which I won against other strong players. This is one of my favorite games on BoardGameArena, and I think it's gives you a lot of interesting decisions. And I am going to be sharing my thought process for these games that I recently played, kind of explaining how I think about the game. Basically, my approach with this game is realizing that anytime you play or discard a card, you're kind of sacrificing something. If you play a number like a green 5, then that prevents you from playing other cards that could have been there, like a 2, 3, or 4, or a handshake card like this. And if you play a handshake card or any card, you're immediately losing points in that color and forcing yourself to get at least 20 points to make a profit. And if you discard a card, you could be giving away a card to your opponent that they can use. So, really, this is a game about kind of making as few commitments as possible and kind of keeping your options open. And that's what my approach is for this. So, for here, I chose to start off by playing my blue cards. Even though I don't have 20 points yet, I actually have more points for green. I like to start with blue because, it keeps my options open. There are higher blue cards I could get later that I can play. I also have 3 turns in a row that are just easy to make. So that's how I'm going to start here. And now that I have this, I am realizing that playing yellow or white could be a little bit dangerous because my opponent is clearly trying to invest in those colors, so he might have a lot of points. So I'm going to take the safer approach and go with green. I think my first 2 cards are pretty easy to play and don't really miss out on too much, so it's nice that I have 2 turns kind of figured out. And once he played the yellow 2, I actually decided to drop this yellow handshake card because he can't use this anymore, and there's a chance I might pick up a green 3 or green 4 in that 1 extra turn, which I don't, but that's okay. So now I'm going to go back to my original plan of playing the green 5. And that white 6 is an extremely lucky draw for me. And that blue 2 is good as well because I can discard this blue handshake card and it doesn't help either of us and gives me another chance to draw a card that I could play. Again, kind of not committing myself, avoiding commitment as much as I can. So here I think now that I have all these points in white, it's obvious that I'm going to play that handshake card at some point. So that's not really too difficult. And then the green 3, this is a card that's unlikely he'll get any value from. And I know I can't, but I have so many points in green, it's unlikely he's going to get a huge pile with that. It's also the one color he hasn't played yet. And now I have a choice. I can continue playing white or continue playing green. I think it's unlikely I'll pick up another white handshake. And even if I do, I have 21 points here, so it really is just a 1 point difference to get that. Possibly more, but playing the green 9, I think, is more likely to cost me some points. Oh, but I actually discarded the handshake, which I don't think he's going to use. And now I play the white 2. And now I'm going back to green. I think the green 6 is less concerning than the white 3 and the white 4, which would be doubled. 3 and 4 multiplied by 2 is 14, whereas the green 6 is just 6, so it felt less impactful there. So now I have another safe discard here, the green 4. There's still 20 cards left in the deck, so I don't feel too bad about giving that one up. If there are less cards in the deck, at some point I'm going to have to just start playing cards and just try to get as many points as I can, but I think it's not too late to be throwing away some cards like that. In this case, it might have saved me some points here. Again, the white 3. Anytime you have a card that's just one step up from a card that's already been played, it's a no-brainer. You can just play it immediately. There's no danger to that. Now I'm going back to green. I guess it's close, given that he hasn't played a white 4 yet, which he could play it immediately since the 2 and 3 are gone. That makes me think it might still be in the deck, and that would be 8 points, as well as the 8 that I'm skipping for green. All right, and skip playing the 10 now. And now I could discard red. It's still not too late. I have 5 cards that I can play, 11 cards in the deck. But so now I really need to get moving, playing some cards. And that's what I'm going to do. And that white 10, that's just extremely lucky because if you get 8 cards in a stack, you get a 20-point bonus. So playing the white 5. And these next turns are just no-brainers. The 7 and the 9 are gone, so I'm just going to fill up on white. And that's the game. So that's 1. And now this is another one that I played. I think this one is a lot closer. I got very lucky in that first game, but this one was a little bit more challenging just based on the cards that I had. So in this game, this one's not as obvious where to start, not having the 3, 4, and 5 of a color. But ultimately, I did decide to start with the yellow 4. I definitely don't want to be discarding any 6s or higher. So it's a decision, what do I want to play? And starting with the 4, that's kind of the least committal card because it's kind of like cutting off less cards for me. I'm just missing out on the yellow 2 and the yellow 3, whereas if I played a 6 or 7, I'm missing out on a lot more. So now this is a case where I can just continue playing yellow. It's nice that I got the yellow 7, so now this is 21 points, which will be a profit, and I can just continue playing yellow and hopefully pick up some cards to make my life easier in the other colors. But actually, now that I have the blue handshake card, I feel pretty good playing that now. I already have 17 points, so I feel confident that I will make a profit from this color. It's very likely. And I chose to pick up the blue too as well. I think that decision was pretty close. I'm at minus 49 right now, and I think we saw the last game I got up to 60 points. I think most games you get up to 40, 50 points by the end. So, that's 90 plus points that I could get throughout the rest of the game, and I'm probably going to pick up 20 more cards here. So, really, I think picking up from the deck would have been more profitable in hindsight, but I think it's very close. You don't always have to pick up, the small little cards in the discard piles, but I did choose to this time. And now I chose to play the yellow 10. Anything else would be difficult to play. I don't want to play a 7 or a 6 prematurely without seeing some more cards. I don't want to play the blue 7 and skip 3, 4, 5, 6. It's a shame that I couldn't get more yellow cards here, but clearly my opponent has something, and really it's just this was the best thing I could do, I think. So now the green 4, that's a good card for me to play. Now I clearly have a safe investment here with green, and I have two kind of middle lower cards that I can play that don't commit myself too much. So I'm going to start with green now, and going to continue on with that. And the red 2, that's an easy discard that he can't use. Give myself an extra card before deciding anything further. And again, I can discard the handshake. It's unlikely I'll be using that. You know, I might get some more points in red, but, you know, best case, I'm not going to be too far in excess of 20, which is what I'd need to make a profit. Yeah, and I chose to discard a handshake card again. The reason I did this is because usually I would not do this, discard a handshake for my opponent to possibly take, but I have 4, 7, 9, 10, which is 30 points just in my hand or on my side. So one thing you should know is that every color has the numbers 2 through 10, which is a total of 54 points. So because I have 30, that leaves 24. And he also hasn't even started playing yellow cards yet. So I'm feeling like he doesn't have too much. He might have like an 8 and a 6, and he's waiting for some lower cards to pop up. But worst case, you know, I'm giving him an extra 3 or 4 points by giving him this, and that's unlikely, I think. So I did the same thing again. He didn't take it before, so he probably wasn't going to take the other one. And now I'm choosing to finish off in green. I'm still hesitant to share the white 7 with him, which he might find useful. Don't want to play more blue cards yet because the 3, 4, 5, 6 doubled. There's a lot of point potential there that I don't want to skip out on. I also don't want to give him this 7 and 9 that he can clearly use, so it was just the least harmful option there. But now I'm deciding I'm going to start playing my red cards because one thing is I have 16 points in red right here. So worst case, I lose 4 points by playing red. I think some people might think you don't want to invest in a pile that you can't get 20 points in, but the way that I'm thinking about this, anything else that I play has potential to be more harmful than 4 points. You know, if I give him these cards, that's going to be 10 or 18 points to him. If I discard this, that could be 7 points to him. The 7, the 8, and the 10, I'm skipping out the 3, 4, 5, 6 times 2. So there's a lot of potential there too. So even though I'm making an investment that I don't think is going to pay off with the red, it seems like it's the least poisonous option here. I know that's a little bit of a weird play, but I also have an easy discard here now with the green 5. Gives me some time, and I pick up the dream card. So an investment that I wasn't expecting to come through does come through in a very fortunate fashion. And so I'm just going to fill up on red here. And now I have another discard here with the green handshake that I know he can't use. And now I have 3 cards left that I'm clearly going to play, and there's 10 cards left in the deck. I'm discarding the white handshake. He hasn't shown any interest in that color. I'm still holding out hope that I might get a 3, 4, 5, or 6 in blue. And now I can discard the yellow 5 safely. I've got another safe discard there with the red handshake. There's still 7 cards in the deck, so I wasn't too concerned about holding some cards. I did get the blue 5, which was nice. Now it's at the point where there's 7 cards left, and if we're taking turns taking them, then that means there's only 3 or 4 turns left, and now I'm definitely going to start playing my blue cards. Try to end the game as quickly as possible, given that I'm up by 27 points. And I got another nice draw there. Definitely getting some nice points here with blue. Eventually, I might have to stop drawing from the deck, depending on how this goes, but he's drawing from the discard pile now, so I guess he's going to let me take from the deck. As long as there's more cards in the draw pile than what I plan to play, I'm pretty safe. And I'm clearly having a strong lead here. And then that's it. I got pretty lucky drawing some bigger cards there towards the end, and I ended up getting the win. That one was a lot closer. All right, well, that's my game review. Hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching.